Why do you think so many people lack the courage to put themselves out there, to actually go for it? Because probably only 10% of the world actually goes for exactly what they want all the way through to the end. And the rest, maybe they go a little bit, but then they fall back in the comfort zone. Like, why is it so hard for people to be courageous, to actually try the new thing, go for their dreams?
I don't know if I have an answer for why, but what I'd love to present a little solution that it is a muscle that if you pick something, maybe this week you pick something that scares you, that you've been putting off, the thing you should have said yes to a long time ago, or the thing you should have said no to a long time ago, and just do it this week.
Yeah.
Because what you do is when you get through it, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Like the anticipation of it.
It's the anticipation. It's like, you're in a relationship when you're young and you got to end it and you're thinking about it for 6 months, every day, your stomach's churning. And then you bring it up and the other person's like, I was thinking the same thing, but we can be friends. And you're like, I just killed myself
for 5 years or something. Decades.
A decade, right? So I think what helps move you in the right direction is pick something that you've been putting off this week and just freaking do it. Tony says this, and I love giving him credit where credit's due, but Tony always says, courage is not moving forward in the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward even though you're scared. Mm-hmm. And when you hear that, it's like, I know it's scary to have this conversation, say yes to say no, but I'm having it. And then you get done, you're like, well, what else can I do? So I would just say, start flexing your courage muscle.
Where's the area of your life you've lacked courage the most lately?
Ooh. I'm pretty damn courageous. Only because I built the muscle over years.
Yeah.
I have to say, so again, just being transparent. Tony Robbins, my partner, my dearest friend in the world. We talk almost every night. About a year ago, Tony calls me and said, this AI thing, it's gonna crush people. He just knows the human condition so much. You just had a great interview with him not that long ago. Awesome. I loved it. It was so good.
Powerful. He
cares deeply, more than most people would ever think, right? You think it's just part of his jam. He doesn't have to work a day in his life. He's obsessed with it. Yeah. So he calls me a year ago and says, AI thing's going to cripple people. It's too fast to change. It's coming too quick. The mind's not going to be able to help it. People are going to fall apart. We got to do something about it. I said, I know, I've been thinking the same thing. So then 3 months later, he calls me late at night. He says, can you talk? I'm like, of course, I'll be right. I call him back. He says, we got to do it now. I can hear him hitting the table. We got to do it now. We have to launch an education platform for people around AI, and we got to do it in the next 90 days. People are losing their mind. And he said, and there's a lot of people are going to be charlatans out there and say how to get rich with AI, how to learn it overnight for doing nothing. He goes, they're going to screw people up, make them more one. We got to do this. So we talked, and it was 90 days before we set the time in November. We did our first AI event. Wow. We had 700,000 people come. And I have to say, I was fear hit me. I was like, what if I let Tony down? What if I let people? I'm not the AI expert. I'm 57. I've been self-education for all these years, for 30 years. Tony, 47. We know we have this philosophy of getting their minds first, overcoming the fear, get a purpose, overcome change, and that's when I'm like, all right, the only way I can do this, I got to find 50 experts I can interview, and I got to do it in rapid speed. I was just interviewing. I was getting smarter at every interview. But I have to tell you, you asked me when I was scared. I was scared at first. So I'm like, what if I let Tone down? He puts so much faith in what I do. He's like, you got this. No one can do this better than you. I'm like,
okay.
But that muscle, I didn't want to let him down. I didn't want to let people down. And I wanted to be ahead. I don't want to be the person that's fallen behind. Yeah. So those three things drove me. I created so here's the best part of it. The reason we teach is what we do. I created a compelling future. We're going to create the AI education, not even education, just helping people save time with AI. We didn't even call it AI education. We call it, here's how you save time using AI in a simple way, right? We're going to create the #1 place in the world. We're going to embrace change. We're going to hold people through it so they don't get freaked out. We're going to help them simplify, not 100 things, just one thing. So I started going through these things, and then all of a sudden when I got to the end, I'm like, I could do this, right? But I had to do it. Believe me, I got off the call with them that night. We were like, yes, let's do it. We're doing it. I got off. I'm like,
so much work to
oh
do.
My God, can I really do it? Right? The imposter comes back. The broke kid comes back. They still live in there. You just got to beat them up a little.
Wow. Speaking of Tony, I just had him on the show recently, and it was an awesome experience, like you said. I think it was the 5th time I've interviewed him as well. And each time I try to learn something new from him and try to get him off of his normal stories that I always hear from other people. And I'm like, all right, I got to get something out of him. You spend something different out of him, I should say. And you spend, every day or every week you're talking to him, and you've been partners with him for almost a decade now, I think. And you studied his work for 20 years, I think, before then. But you've really built a personal relationship and a business relationship. What would you say are the three most powerful things Tony Robbins has taught you as a human being that maybe most people don't see?
One is his desire to give back. He gives back more than anybody knows. Like when he talks about the billion meal challenge and now 100 billion meal challenge and all this, it sounds unrealistic, but it's what drives him every day. Like he'll just call me out of the blue and talk for a half hour on how he got the king of this country to put up $5 million to provide this many meals. And it's like, it's a part of his DNA and it's become his purpose and his existence. And because here's what he's a master at. We all need that compelling future. He doesn't have to work a day in his life. His company, he's impacted more lives than anyone in history, right? I mean, he's the GOAT of GOATs in his industry. He's the Michael Jordan of that space. So he's checked off all those boxes. If he just said, hey, I got plenty of money, I got the house of my dreams, the wife of my dreams, him and his wife Sage have the most amazing relationship anybody you've ever seen. It's not BS, it's amazing. So he's got all those. So what did he do? He had to find a new compelling future. I need to feed 1 billion people in 10 years. I did it. Oh, I got to feed 100 billion people. He's flying all over the world. He's doing everything he can to. So he's got this drive. So therefore he wants his businesses and everything to do good so he can give away and take away pain from people. So so that's one is you got to create a compelling future so big. I know we talked about it a little bit today. It's got to be so big that it overcomes imposter syndrome. It overcomes fear. It overcomes that I'm not enough. I don't know enough. It's got to be so strong that no matter what, you just move forward anyway. That's Tony Robbins at his core. It's so big, you're not getting in his way. That's a fact.
Okay, that's one.
Number two, he always talks about not always, he gave me this advice that as leaders, we have to be both effective and efficient. And it hit me at a time where I was managing 2 different companies, hundreds of employees, and I was being really efficient because I knew how to fix different departments because I've been in this for 30 years. And he's like, you're going in and you're being efficient. You're getting it all done, but you're not building deep relationships with the leaders. So therefore you're not being effective. And I need to hear, because I was moving and shaking.
You were still doing it all.
What's that?
You were doing it all as opposed to empowering others to do.
Or just showing you how to do it. I know what this department, I built this department, do it this way, you good? Cool, and go on to the next without like, hey, how you doing, Louis? What's going on in your life? Right? So that when he said that, I know it sounds like, he just said effective and efficient, but I knew exactly what he's talking about. He's like, you're the most efficient man I ever know. You need to be more effective.
Which is build more deeper relationship. It's what it meant for you.
Exactly. I mean, leadership, the older I get, what leadership is really is, it's, imagine being the best kindergarten teacher in the world. You wouldn't teach all the kids the same. The shy kid you realize has troubles at home, his parents going through a divorce. You're going to treat him different than the outgoing extrovert who's standing up on tables, and the kid with ADD, and the one that's trying to be normal, and the one that's just moved here and doesn't know anybody. As a teacher, you get to know all those. It's like, hey, Sally, go sit with Lisa. You two are the same. Hey, that's what makes a great leader. Is when you know the people that underneath you, you know what makes them tick, what they deal with, what are their constraints. That's probably the biggest secret of leadership that I found at this phase of my life, of having thousands of employees. Yeah, effective and efficient. What's the third thing Tony's taught you think? I think the biggest byproduct for him, the biggest, hands down, the thing that changed my life the most, is we had a talk when I went through a divorce, and I was so worried about my kids, and I'm like, I am not getting back in another relationship. I'm gonna be friends with my ex. I'm gonna be a super dad, and I'm gonna go deep on my business. And he's like, BS, get on a plane, get down here. And so we're talking about relationships. And the biggest byproduct, he had me write down everything that I wanted in a relationship, this is common, and everything I wouldn't accept in a relationship. But I know he knew what he was doing because I wrote all this down. I had to do it in front of him. I'm writing all this down. And I remember looking at it and saying, wow, I'm pretty full of myself that I want that in a woman. And here's the part that I got. And I think he knew I was going to find this end result. And I've never shared this because this one changed. That's why I'm married to my wife, Lisa. You know her dearly. You know that we have true love. I got done reading that and I went, damn, if I'm going to attract that kind of woman, who do I need to become? I need to be the same thing. And then I looked through this list. I'm like, wait, I'm messing up on this one. And I'm not doing this one. And I want this, and I'm not that man. And I started working on me. I'm like, how do I attract? And like God saw me doing it. Like 3 months later, I'm working. I'm like, I got to be this. I got to do that. I got to shift this the way I do. I put work first without realizing it. Work is everything to me. My business, everything. My relationships were second. And I meet my wife, Lisa, right in the midst of going through that. Wow. And, we're 8 years in now.
Is what it's been 8 years? Since you guys, I remember you sending me photos of you guys going out like in the first few months.
Yeah.
And you're like setting stuff. And
I knew it. It's so funny. We were on our first date. I'm like, I didn't think I was going to date. I'm marrying this guy.
Wow.
Like, I knew it on the first date.
So it's 8 years since you guys started dating or marrying? Yeah. And what's the 3 biggest lessons your wife, Lisa, has taught you?
Oh, that's a really great question. That she's taught me. She is...
Whether about life or fatherhood or being a husband or...
Yeah, so I would say that her love is so deep. If something is off, I have a tendency as a man to keep it inside, and I'll be a little off, and she'll be like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing, I'm good.
Yeah.
She will not let that happen. She'll let me share it. And even if I say something that she doesn't like, in 15 minutes, if we talk it through, even if I said something like, well, I don't like, something that like somebody else would hold a grudge, she's over it in 15 minutes, just done. And she's like, hey, babe, you want me to get you a glass? You want to go do the thing? And I'm like, we're done with that? She's like, yeah, we got it out.
That's good.
Like, she's just fantastic at that. Number 2 is my parents were married and divorced 9 times between the two of them. I never lived with a parent. Like, it just was always in, out, in, out, 20 moves. Family is her life. Like, there is no, I feel blessed that, like, I'm going to be married to her for the rest of my life, not a question, but there's not even a question in her mind. Like, I chose you. I'm with you for the rest of your life.
Wow.
And if we have troubles, we fix troubles. We don't run. We're not soft. Would you run from a business that wasn't doing good? No, you save a business that wasn't going good. If something goes wrong in this house, we fix it because we're not going anywhere.
Wow.
Her conviction is so strong. And then the third thing I would say is she is so transparent and such an open book that it's given me the greatest gift ever, that I am the same person. There's never a time, I say this all, but I got this from her. If she hired a private investigator to follow me around and film me for a week, and she watched every bit of the footage, she'd love me more.
Wow. Because
she is so transparent, and she still looks at me with such loving eyes that I never want to ruin that. So there's nothing I do. Even my eyes don't wander. There's no DM that I would even look at. Like, I've just made it so if she's watching, she's like, that's why I love this man. Because she's so transparent, it made it in me.
What's the thing you love about her the most?
I love the mother that she is. I love how much she loves me. I love how much she loves my older kids. She's a good woman. I punched above my weight class on this one.
That's great, man. That's great. And what do you feel like is missing most in humanity right now with all of the, and to give context, I feel like there's so much has shifted in the last 10 years where this focus around being connected to our phones or to online things versus connected to people, obsessed about making more money, but maybe not really making impact. It's like we have focuses in different places where we think it might be the right thing, but there's something that seems like there's still missing for lots of people, not everyone. What do you think is the biggest thing missing for people to feel more fulfilled and happy in their lives?
I hate to fall back on something that might sound so simple, but we've had such a good life for so long, even though we think things are tough. Would you want to be alive at any other time in history?
No.
Would you want to live anywhere else? We're blessed. I know you have people from all over the world, but we're pretty blessed here in America.
Yeah.
We're safe, right? We don't realize that we take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear someone say have an immigrant mindset, they come from a place of oppression. They come here to America and they're like, the happiest people you know. So many of them become wealthy within the first generation because they see nothing but opportunity. We've been here too long. We take it for granted. So what is the thing missing? Gratitude. Gratitude. Yeah. You know, when we fought the Revolutionary War, right? And you figure how many people died to give us freedom. That lasted for a while, what people fought for. World War I, World War II, what we fought for the freedoms, getting through the Depression, all those things give this layer of gratitude. Then there's wave of immigrants that, I'm Italian. My grandparents came here in the early 1900s, late 1800s. My grandfather told the story of coming here with nothing in his pocket, didn't speak the language, had $5 in his pocket, had nothing. And he's like, I landed in the greatest place in the world. By the time he died, he owned 2 restaurants, took care.
Wow.
And what happens when you have too many years of too much social media, too much comparison, not have to struggle for food, not have to struggle for, I know some people still do. I'm not being disrespectful for that. But I think if we could find a way, all of us, especially politics divide people so much, if we all just found a way to be grateful for the space we're in. Again, it sounds like duh, but it really is. Gratitude is the most powerful thing on earth.
Yes. But when someone's feeling broke or they literally don't have any money or they're struggling month to month to pay their bills, should they be thinking more about the number of money, how much money they want to make and focus on money first? Or should they be thinking about the value they want to create in the world, the impact, the difference they want to make?
I think they should focus on them equally. So many people focus too much on money. Other people focus on just impact. I think the byproduct of impact is money. So how can you make an impact? The other thing we also have to remember is we all overestimate what we can do in a year or 2 and underestimate what we can do in 5. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And then when you don't see anything happen in 3 months, you're like, this isn't for me, this is stupid. And then the last thing I'll say is on that is, if you're listening, would you live the hard way for a year so you could live easier for a decade after? So what if you just acknowledge, the next year is going to be hard, but I'm going to make choices that I've never made. I'm going to be more courageous than I've ever been. I'm going to unlock that creativity. I'm not going to listen to my mom because I know she loves me, but she's trying to protect me. I'm going to do this. Like, what if you were courageous, bold, made moves, and the next year was hard?
Yeah.
But 12 months from now was a little less hard. And 24 months was amazing. And 36 months from now, you were living into who you're meant to be. So, none of us, you didn't get here. It looks like you've been here forever.
Right.
But the journey, if someone watched the journey and the doubts and the no money and all the stuff, and then you see the end, it looks easy, right? We all got to go through the crap.
Yes.
And and some of you are already going through it and you've been through enough, and I'm sorry, but you never know how. Og Mandino, in his book, The World's Greatest Salesman, when he talks about, I will persist until I succeed. That's one of the 10 scrolls in The World's Greatest Salesman. And he talks about that you never know how many corners you have to go around until your success is on the other side. And how I translated that is, you might have to go through 10 failures, 10 question yourself, living on your sister's couch, and then the 11th thing you found enough success to go forward, and then go forward. Some people it might be 30 times. Some people it might be 3. Some people are blessed. Some people have to but if you just keep moving, eventually around one of those corners, is there another level?
And if you knew that it was going to take you 100 attempts or phone calls or face-to-face meetings in order for you to generate that success, the result, or financial abundance you wanted, you wouldn't get discouraged after 10. You'd be like, I'm one closer.
Yeah, you're one closer. That's such a good point. That's a great way to look at it.
Oh, I'm developing the skills. I'm getting the feedback. I'm getting the resourcefulness.
I'm getting the failures out of the way.
Yeah, and the faster I do this, the faster I'll get to 100 or whatever.
Such a good point.
Even if it's 1,000, whatever it is, like you still have to get through there to get to that number, whatever that rep is for you, to unlock the next level. If someone watching or listening right now is at 0, and they're trying to get to 100K or 1 million, let's say. And you mentioned earlier, you got to be thinking about both the money and the impact or the value you're going to bring. How would you coach someone if they're watching this and say, Dean, okay, I'm struggling right now. I'm kind of at 0, or maybe I've got a few $1,000, but I'm really trying to get to 100K. And ultimately, I'd like to get to 1 million. I don't know how long it's going to take, but is it think about a business where I could think about $1 million first and how much I need to sell that thing? Is it think about where I can add the most value and contribute the most and make a difference? Blending the two, like how would you coach that? I know it's probably longer than one answer, but.
And this might, think about some of the A players you know in your life, right? And I feel like turning their head, like there's option A, learn AI and become an AI teacher.
Yeah.
This one here, go into, brick and mortar or more blue collar businesses that are going to stick, no matter what happens with AI. And there's behind door number 3 is something else. picture if you know the A players, like your partner Matt and others in your life. If you gave them any one of those three, would they be successful?
Yeah. The A players. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I think the foundation is make yourself an A player. Like if you've tried a lot of things in your life and you quit, it's okay. We've all been there.
Yeah.
But maybe you give up on the, you know, if you want to use the sports analogy, you give up on the 5-yard line every time because you just need to push a little bit further. For me, I would create an unstoppable, successful mindset by modeling people, read the right books, watch the podcast, so many great ones you've done, and build your DNA. Like, this is who I'm becoming. I failed in the past. I'm going to keep failing, but this time I'm not going to quit. I'm going to do this on a daily basis. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to focus on my compelling future. I'm going to write out my compelling future every day. And then start investigating where the world is going. You can go on AI right now and say, what would be bulletproof businesses that I should start? Once I'm an A player, what would you suggest I go in? And look 3 or 4 of them and see the ones that light you up, and then go down the rabbit hole and say, what if I did this? And where would I start? And all of a sudden we had that ability that we didn't have access to that information before. That's what I would say.
Yeah. So instead of thinking of like, which direction am I taking, start building the skills, the value.
Let me ask you, through the history of time, have we gone through depressions?
Yes.
Have we gone through wars?
Yes.
Has the world changed completely when the Industrial Revolution came?
Yes.
But were there still people crushing it?
Yeah, of course.
What do you think their common thread was?
I mean, courage, confidence,
all the stuff we talked about today, right? And you hate this, that sounds boring.
Yeah.
But it's a fact.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
And I think they weren't afraid to step into uncertainty.
Yes.
That was the big thing. They saw opportunity. Oh, there's this change happening. You know, there's electricity now. There's the internet. There's TV. There's radio. Like this thing that we don't understand. It's happening. And we could take a risk and jump into it and maybe fail, or we could be the leaders in this space.
Yeah, absolutely.
And move forward. And that's why you got into AI really a year ago and started teaching people this. And you think you had, what, 600,000 or 700,000 people jump on?
630. It was actually
630,000 people jump into this summit you did last year. And you've got another one coming up here, April 23rd to the 25th, called the AI Advantage Summit. It's free. It's virtual. People can go check it out. It's only 3 hours a day. And where can they go to start learning how to master AI for their personal and professional lives? And why should they take advantage of this?
I think, listen, if you're already an AI expert, you're already doing vibe coding and you're chasing every tool, this is not the event for you. That's about 18% of America, about 6% of the world. You're already past it.
Yeah, you're an expert.
You're an expert, and that's awesome. You can come hang out with us. But this is for the average business owner, solopreneur, entrepreneur, someone that wants to be bulletproof in their career, to learn what we teach is how to go deeper on AI, to build it so it knows you, and then how to utilize it to buy back time. The biggest thing we shared was there's never been a mechanism to give you more time, and then how to leverage that time. So by the time you're done, I mean, it was one of the most fun events we've ever had. And we got great speakers, and you might come a little overwhelmed, confused. You'll leave with AI confidence, AI fluency, and you'll be jamming that. By night 2, they'll be home going, I'm not that afraid anymore. It's pretty cool.
That's good.
It was fun to watch it.
Where can they go sign up right now?
AISummit222.com.
Okay, cool.
It is free. It's going to be fun as heck. And this is probably the only time we'll do it this year. We did it last year. We're doing it again now. It's and we got some amazing guests. And when I say amazing guests, you're not going to get the high-tech AI people. After 50 interviews, Tony and I grab the ones that they're most practical.
Most
like
relatable.
When they speak, relatable. They speak and you go, oh, well, I could do that.
Yeah.
Because believe me, some of the interviews I did, halfway through, I'm like, I have no idea what this guy's saying.
Exactly.
He's way smart. I am dumb. He is smart.
Yeah.
And I would say, could you boil it down for him? When he boiled it down, I still couldn't get it.
I
Right?
know.
So we took the people that take complicated things and make you go, oh, I get that. So it'll be a blast.
Yeah, it's exciting. So AISummit222.com. It's coming April 23rd through 25th. It's free. It's only 3 hours a day. You're gonna get some practical tools to help you kind of master what you need right now. It's not gonna overcomplicate things.
Yeah. It's more about buying back time. That's really what we focus the whole 3 days on.
That's it. That's exciting. Anything else? What else is on your heart or mind that you want to leave people with today?
You know, I just think, as Tony said when he called me a year ago, we've never experienced the rate of change that we're experiencing right now in politics, in world matters, in technology, you don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow and crypto's gone or the market's crushed. Like it's a time. Just recognize that. Realize you're human and realize that if you focus on all those, it's going to find, if you focus on where all that could go and you stack them, it's hard for the human body, your mind, your psyche to even handle it. So when you find yourself going down that road, just have that second voice go, hey, we got to stop here. I need to focus on what's good in my life. What could be possible? What could go right? And you just combat it. Like the two voices I said when you were on your sister's couch. Not easy, but absolutely worth it. And in times like these, you can't control the outside world. If your happiness is related to if the market's up or AI gets easier, you're screwed. Excuse my language, you're screwed. So we have to work on the inner game. And I think a lot of the stuff we shared today was great. And whoever else speaks to your soul, work on the inner game, get strong, and know that you can see a land of opportunity or a land of the lost. It's your decision.
True.